What's up, guys? Daryl from Smart Shooters, and today I wanted to publicly answer a question that I was asked privately. I thought the question was very, very interesting. Let's just jump right into it. So the question I was asked was very, very surprising to say the least. And I'm sure the person meant no malice. But what they asked me is about Rostic Arms. And if you don't know, Rostic Arms is our rifle manufacturing company that we started building our own AR-15s and variants of. The question was, how do I, in good conscience, as a black man, sell AR-15s? How do I build them? How do I, in good conscience, knowing that these are weapons of war, build these AR-15s and then slang them in our community? And so I figured this person probably had the audacity to ask what a lot of people were thinking. And I think it's worth a discussion. Let's talk about it.
That's the first one. Coming to a store near you.
The first reason that I can give is that firearms are essential. I honestly believe the only thing that could stop a bad person with a gun is a good person with a gun. I refuse to say that everyone in the world should have these except the black community. That doesn't make any sense. Historically, nothing goes right when people don't have weapons that are capable of fighting back against any threat that could come against their lives. It just doesn't make any sense. And so, for me, I wanted to provide and go in business making something that could not only benefit myself, but benefit all those who were open-minded enough to be educated on what an AR-15 really is and why it's actually a better defense choice than, I would argue, 99% of handguns. Number two, it's actually an effective means of self-defense. There's no coincidence that politicians are trying to ban these. It's no coincidence that nobody wants the civilian to have them. Why? It's an effective means of self-defense. A lot of people say it's a military weapon. What makes their life any more valuable than our lives as everyday citizens, right? If it's something that's truly good enough for our military to utilize, why wouldn't I want something similar to protect my life? The next reason I would give is that it's my passion. I've worked in manufacturing for almost 15 years for different companies, Fortune 500 companies, Amway, Steelcase, Herman Miller, you name it, Cascade Engineering. I've worked with all these different Bentler, all these different manufacturing companies. And I've acquired a wealth of knowledge when it comes to processes, when it comes to how a manufacturing operation should work. And I'm taking that and marrying it with my other passion, which is firearms. I'm passionate about educating people. I'm passionate about our Second Amendment rights and very passionate about teaching people how to properly defend themselves, to protect themselves and the people they love. Marrying that together and manufacturing something that's modular, manufacturing something that's easy to shoot. If you didn't know, AR-15s are actually easier to shoot than handguns. The extra points of contact, you have 3 points of contact, 2 hands and a shoulder when shooting a rifle versus just 2 hands when you're shooting a pistol. Helps give you some stability and makes you more accurate when you shoot. There's so many different reasons, and I'm gonna jump into it because I really wanna make sure that if there's anybody who has any doubt as to why you need an AR-15, I'm here to cancel that today. because everybody needs an AR-15. So I took my passions, merged them together. Here we go, manufacturing. But let's keep going. So if you're not familiar with my products, this is a Rostic Arms RA-15. This has a bunch of gun paint on it because torture testing it, it's got a bunch of scrapes, scratches, and nicks. But this is my beautiful creation, the Rostic Arms RA-15. Now, let's talk about why everybody needs one of these. Now, this may come as some controversy, but I truly believe that it is a pro and not a con, and that is these take higher capacity magazines. I don't know what a high capacity magazine is, but this is higher than the standard 15 rounds, 16 rounds in your handgun. This is, in most free states anyway, your typical mag is gonna have double that. You're gonna be working with at least 30 rounds. And I know what people will say. Why do you need more than 30 rounds? Why do you need 30 rounds? It's not like you're shooting a bunch of, but you might be shooting a bunch of. One of the things I teach in my firearms classes is stress and adrenaline will have more of an effect on your body than even hundreds of hours of training, right? We all know what we're gonna do until we're in that moment and it's time to do it. And hopefully you've trained enough for your muscle memory not to fail you and that instinct not to fail you. Which means what I'm really saying is under stress, you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss shots. It's very, very likely. And the ability to stay in the fight without reloading is an ability that I think you should take advantage of if you live in a state that allows capacity magazines that aren't super restricted. The amount of firepower in a gunfight could make the difference between winning and losing. There's so many reasons I could give this person. I don't think it's one, guns are black. That's a joke. That's a joke. Don't eat me up. But in reality, so many of our ancestors, especially speaking to my African American community, we couldn't own guns, right? We finally live in a society where it is okay for us to own guns. Why on earth would we not own something that we didn't even have the right to own at a point in time? Everyone encourages us to vote. Why? What's the number one thing we hear as African Americans when it comes to voting? People died for the right. People didn't have the right to vote. So we vote. We push home ownership. We push buying land. When I bought my land, so many people told me that's dope because a lot of our ancestors either couldn't do it or couldn't afford to do it. Why is this any different? They couldn't own this. They could not own efficient and effective tools to defend themselves and the people they love. We live in a country where we can own, finally, the tools and the means to protect ourselves and the people we love equally across the board. I don't understand why more people don't take advantage of that right and that opportunity. I know it's a big, scary black gun. Man, this is so much easier to use than, say, this. Trying to be accurate with this as opposed to this that has an adjustable stock to adjust to a person's size that they can shoulder. And then again, here's that 1, 2, 3 points of contact to help make me more accurate. There's red dots and magnifiers and all type of stuff for ARs. that make this really an extremely effective and valuable weapon of defense. I don't understand why someone would think that we shouldn't have these. You're gonna be surprised at how many of your politicians that are saying ban these are protected by them. So many politicians, you don't need an AR-15, but every person around them has an AR-15 to protect them. I want the most effective means to protect my life. Now, bring it full circle. Why did I start Rostic Arms? Because now, with my innovative thinking and ingenuity and all the things that are in me, I want to not only produce these, but I have plans on how to innovate and make things even better. But to me, it starts with the groundwork of me understanding how these operate and producing quality parts and putting them out in the community, helping equip people legally to protect themselves and the people they love. That's the mission that I'm on. I am tired of all communities rehearsing rhetoric that they hear from the news and the media, that if you just scroll all the way down to the article you read, they tell you that they took money from anti-gun groups to publish that article. It happens all the time. How often have you ever heard of a legally justifiable shooting on the news? You don't, because they don't want to push that and let you know that people are legally defending themselves with these, and it's working. They're not out here. Everybody's not a gangster. Everybody's not a two-way tactical bully. Some of us are disciplined and responsible enough with these to make sure that we protect ourselves, the people we love, and nothing else. Nothing more. This is not something for show. I'm not pulling this out at the first sign of trouble, but that's also why I'm a firearms instructor. I'm an instructor because I want to educate people on stuff like that. Conflict avoidance, de-escalation, situational awareness. All right. I teach people that a gun should never be your first response to a situation. Ever. And if it is, then you need a better personal protection plan. All of this stuff encompasses why I started Rostic Arms, especially as a Black man, because I noticed the knowledge and insight was lacking, especially in my community. And that's why I started Rostic Arms. Not only did I want to educate us on the product, but I wanted to provide the product. And if that's something you can't stand behind, God bless you. All right, I'm going to find the people who can. I'm going to find the people who want to be educated, because everybody shouldn't be scared. Okay, the scary thing to me is not being able to have one, not having access to proper protection. Those are the things that scare me. So, you want to know why I started this as a Black man? There's a bunch of reasons why. As a man, as a husband, as a father, as an advocate for your Second Amendment rights, as a firearms instructor, as a community youth advocate, all the things that I am led me to say, I have to start this. I have to create a company that says, we're here, we're from the communities that we're serving. All right. I talked about it in previous videos, but when it comes to people of color, I don't know too many African-American gun manufacturers. Yeah, I know some dealers. I know some people who own stores. I don't know too many people who are making them. It goes so much deeper than what I'm even talking about right now. I believe that every responsible person who legally can own one of these should absolutely. And this isn't a scare thing. This is, it's beyond sporting. It's beyond hunting. It's about you having the right. All right. Why not exercise your right? I could go on this talk forever, but instead I'm gonna end this video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.